I'm Lazara Williams, Instructional Specialist at Howard Elementary. This is Tina King, our second grade teacher, and Sarah Carroll. We're going to be talking today about a U-Fly lesson that we observed in Mrs. Carroll's class.
Okay, so we're just going to go down the list here.
Yeah, I think we
So
can just
instructional
look at the snapshot
materials are aligned, cognitively demanding, and reflect grade level instruction on standards per the pacing guide. I think materials are aligned, cognitively demanding. There's the whole gambit in the class. There's really high kids down to like 2 years below grade level, and I'm not so sure that the kids at the very end are being reached in it. I think that one is still in progress, and that might be more of a me thing.
And it's also U-Fly. It's only our second year teaching second grade
Right.
and U-Fly, so I think it's gotten better than last year.
Yes,
really have.
it's improving.
Oh, it's our first year teaching
Yeah, first
U-Fly.
year
I don't watch
U-Fly.
the second year.
And I do like
Second
that.
year teaching first year grade, first year teaching U-Fly.
Right.
I think that the Spyro, how like you talked earlier about how the new concept reviews it the next day.
Right.
So there is a Spyro review throughout the lesson, so even
Right.
the kids at the lower end can still be challenged or get that review, but not necessarily your higher kids. The cognitive demand for them might not be there.
Right. So I would like to pull in longer words, more syllables in them that are still practicing that same concept.
In each one you could do, okay, let's
Right.
try this. Let's challenge you and try this word. And then you're really checking on everyone but those two, those specifically our kids.
Right. Right.
But as far as the standard,
Yeah, it meets the
meets the
standard.
standard,
It
so
meets the
we
standard.
could observe there.
Yep. Okay, and then students are engaged in grade level instruction with appropriate supports and scaffolding. Oh, that might have been the answer for the first one that I was more thinking of. I think I could scaffold it more to those that are more advanced and to those that may not quite get it. But I typically do that in the small group time, not necessarily in the whole group instruction. So I keep track of a spreadsheet where I keep track of who's getting each lesson, each concept, and those that I don't have checked, we small group it back here and we keep practicing. So that's kind of how I scaffold it. And I also scaffold by bringing the lower ones from that are further in the back, I bring them to the front so they're not zoned out and disengaged in the back. So that's scaffolding, right?
Mhm.
Just bringing them up
I
so I
think,
can check.
I think that comes back later too with in the feedback part. There's a part about differentiating,
Okay.
and so when you bring them in your small group, that kind of does that as well.
Right.
What
Okay.
about students understand and can articulate what they are learning? For the most part, did you
I
feel
think
like they could?
I think so. What do you think? I don't know. I struggle with that one.
You know, yeah, you had your lower ones, and I could see that they were. I don't know if they were on the boards because they're facing the camera wrong.
Right.
You were playing.
Right.
Yes, you got it. You got it. Oh, you like the way you did that one. I didn't think of that one because it was a different one.
Right.
And then same. Oh, you forgot. Trying to help them. Like, oh, go back and think. You're missing something. And so I think.
So
Yeah.
maybe some were able to, but not all.
I think so. But I mean, I saw, the one up in the front who has really struggled, Jamie, and he has done a really good job. Like, he was getting it. And normally, majority of the year, he has not been getting it. But he was up there spelling the words correctly. So,
And you're seeing growth, so that's good.
yeah, I'm definitely seeing growth.
And the learning objective, essential standards should be posted. Was that? I mean, they mentioned it at the beginning of every U-Fly lesson. What we're going to learn, right?
Right. Yes. So
And it's posted on
it's
there.
posted.
Okay. So check. We got that one.
Oh, there it is.
So now we'll move on to effective feedback.
Receives and gives specific timely and constructive feedback to extend their learning. I mean,
Probably not 100% of the time. I mean, it's probably not 100% of the time, honestly.
But you are
because
giving them.
I do give it. Yeah, and I think I do check
Give me a
everyone's.
stronger.
Yeah, you check
Yeah.
the boards.
Well, because I know there are a couple I know I'm not reaching them in whole group. It's going and I'm going
It's
to.
supposed to be taught on grade level, so you already knew that. You still got to
Exactly.
teach it, and then you bring it back here, and you do
I
your
mean,
small
when
group.
there are some that don't know all their letters, we're going to have to small group this lesson with those couple. But I think generally, yeah, I look at all the boards and give feedback.
And they're all getting that exposure.
Right.
Okay. What about assessing informal and formally? Matching
Yeah.
the target, because like you said, you're checking the boards,
Right.
and the skills that we're doing for the day.
Right. Yeah.
I would check that. So next we have
Or against clear criteria. Did you already do that one?
No, rubrics, example of student work, anchor charts.
I mean, she has them up there. She asked them. She showed them. I mean, check marked it.
Is that what that is?
and they check the sound wall. Wouldn't you
Oh,
think
yeah,
that
the
could
sound
be like
wall.
not
Yeah.
necessarily a rubric, but it
Well,
is a
kinda,
resource.
it's a
for them.
resource.
Was anchor chart listed there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chart.
Okay.
The pacing provides students the time to process and be engaged. So
We did talk about how we liked the think time that you gave them, but we
Okay.
also noticed that some of the kids were, like you said,
disengaged.
Yeah, some
Yes.
weren't. So maybe some improvements there.
Yeah, for sure.
The pacing.
Mm-hmm.
The majority of students are active participants who are engaged in the learning. We just discussed that. Activities, assignments, and materials require students to work at a high level of rigor. That part mostly is really just, can they spell it, can they work with them? And then the second part that she typically does, and I do too, we didn't get on video, but we do use it, the roll and read, the sort, they get to
Yes.
actually manipulate that
Apply the
and read it,
concept.
apply the concept.
Right.
And then we do now some where they spell the word now.
Right.
Okay.
You spell this word or find, and you can still look if you need to, but you can spell, so they get that sight, because like vision and vision, jeune and jeune, they're two different spellings, so you've got to actually see the words to be able to write it. Especially
Right.
they've never been exposed to those words, or kids, or second graders. So typically
So
we do that.
y'all
If it
have
wasn't in
that.
the video.
Y'all do have extension that's provided already.
Yes.
Right, because there's also on the U Fly where they can kind of flashcard each other. So, kind of like the game of Battleship with the computers, they'll flashcard it up, and one is reading the flashcard and the other one is writing on a whiteboard. And then the other one reads the next card that pops up on their screen, and the other one writes it. So, they're practicing encoding and decoding kind of at rapid fire as partners. So,
That's fun when you turn things into games.
Yeah.
It's more enjoyable.
yeah.
Students are having discussions relative to the objective relevance peer-to-peer, student-to-teacher. I saw student-to-teacher, I really didn't see peer-to-peer.
No, not in that one. And that's going to be the peer to peer is really going to be during the quizzing. Quizzing each other, and they're reading. That's when the partner work is after the whole group. So not observed, but it is there in every lesson.
Okay.
Students are working collaboratively, and groupings are appropriate for instructional outcomes.
I'm sure we would have saw that too at the intentional groupings, right? Like
Exactly.
have someone
I do
Yep.
high and low,
Yep.
medium
Yep.
together. 'Cause
Everybody-
you have to have someone who at least knows how to read those words at least pretty well,
Right.
and then help them. Like, oh, that's
Everybody's-
not that word. So
Yeah. Everybody's partnered with someone that's appropriate for them.
But in the whole group lesson, they don't all have to interact with the necessarily partner, right?
No.
sometimes I do, but
Mhm.
I have them turn and talk. But
Mhm.
a variety of questioning techniques is used to. I cannot see that.
Elicit thoughtful responses and or
Right.
invite
I'm trying to
discussion.
read it and it's too far away.
I can't recall where there was really much discussion. A
Maybe not.
variety of questioning techniques. I don't know.
With the vocabulary, you did kind of bring in
Talked about
some
the
different
words, like
examples.
what was that word? Shoot, and it
Yeah,
wasn't shoot
shoot.
ball. It was, I love her drama.
Yes.
She has a good actor.
The
She
laundry
but
chute.
they will remember that every time. Remember when Carol was doing this? I mean, they'll get it,
Yes. Yep.
But I believe it was observed.
Okay.
Physical moment.
Movement
Thank you.
strategies
Super hard.
are used to increase energy and focus and is intentionally linked to the learning, clapping out syllables, stand up, pair up, four corners activity.
I mean,
Again,
you
the
did
movements at the end.
Yep, no, you did it. You did it when you were chopping those words and they didn't
Oh,
get it right.
doing the
Like,
things.
oh, no.
Dun,
Listen,
dun,
remember
dun.
stretching it.
Stretching that rubber
Uh-huh.
So you
band.
did that.
Yep.
Yeah, so they would snap along and
Yeah.
okay.
So I think
Alright, fine.
I think if that you were getting observed, you could get that checked.
Disengaged students are redirected. Most of them were redirected.
Yeah,
Some
not all of
were
them.
More difficult to redirect, though.
Yes.
Right. Some it just was not
And that's not a normal
situation.
right?
Exactly.
Students interact with technology in a way that is aligned with this learning.
Well, we had the slides, right?
Okay.
So I would count that as technology. They weren't necessarily doing anything on their computers with it. So I don't know if that's more for the student to be like they
Yeah,
need
it
to
doesn't say.
manipulate it or anything.
The student interact.
It says high student engagement, so that was just as long as they're engaging with it, I guess.
I mean, it was purposeful. You
Yeah.
had the
Well,
slides.
and the kind of the flashcard kind of sequence with the slides of the sounds, you know,
Oh, yes.
like showing that, and they have to say the sound that they see. So that's them interacting with it.
Yes, they are.
Okay.
Safe learning environment. Instruction reflects knowledge of students' unique needs and diversity, small groups, sound scaffolding supports for different students to meet their needs. It's really hard to read those words. They're so
Yeah.
small.
Well, I would say that is observed. I mean, I would say because moving them up, some need to sit closer.
Mhm.
You
So
said some by some high, some low.
Right.
I know some of your kids, so I know you did that for those.
right, they're all
As well as your small groups. We didn't observe it, but you do. Pull
It's
them
very
back and it's
it's very
based on
purposeful. Yeah.
Student behavior is entirely appropriate. Incidents of misbehavior are minor or appropriately managed for the situation. I mean, you didn't.
I guess so. Yes, there wasn't anything
No.
totally crazy.
Right.
And you didn't let that constant interruptions, you like stop or whatever you said and then continue working so you could get that done and then you took care of it after the fact.
Right. Yeah.
Especially for a student who knows they can.
Push the
Push-
buttons.
Yes.
Students respectfully intervene with classmates to ensure compliance with standards of conduct.
I would say yes, because when that one student was being a little disruptive, they knew to ignore him. Like
Okay.
They
Yeah,
didn't
they
let
did. I didn't see
They
that
don't really
working at
engage
all.
in it.
Yeah.
So I would say they didn't let him steal the learning from him.
Okay.
The classroom arrangement promotes safety and physical environment ensures the learning of all students.
Your desk
Well,
are
I think
groups.
Yeah. I keep thinking of right here though, and how I noticed that she could. I try to move over as much as possible.
We didn't notice until after
but-
when we showed the video. You didn't know until I saw. I had to watch the video a second time.
I know. I didn't really notice
Focus
it.
on it. And I was like,
So now I know I
Oh.
need to move her
or
over
move your
here.
body a little differently.
Well, I don't think that I really can
Not really,
because
that's why
there's
it's
not.
angled.
Yeah, there's really not much more for me to move, so I'll just have to move her.
Or maybe shift your desk.
Maybe sit on the end right there.
Shift your desk.
Well, yeah.
Further.
Oh, yeah. She can move up a little bit. Okay.
Turn the timer off.
Students' interactions are respectful.
Most of them.
Most of them.
They really are. Teachers' interaction are respectful, and yes,
I would agree.
I agree.
Okay.
Even though he
You get great compliments to them when they did great, when they didn't. Oh, we can do better, or you point and say, "Hey, let's try that again," or "You
Yeah.
almost got
was
it," or
very encouraging.
and you
Yeah.
bragged on them. One of them for the floor.
Oh,
looking at
Jeremy.
the
Oh,
thing.
yeah. He did an amazing job. Yeah.
And I think in the future we can like do this more frequently. Maybe next year we can record each other earlier in the year, and then we can
Record
a
one and
difference.
record the second too, like
Oh
kind of
yeah,
compare.
both days. Yeah.
Mhm.
And compare. Don't compare teachers, but compare like you at the beginning of the year and now one at the end of the year. What's the difference? Like I've grown.
Yeah.
Like a comparison.
That
Yeah.
could be a good
For
argument.
you.
Well, and really seeing the student engagement part too.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for your
All
time.
right,
I know it
thank
was
you.
short notice. I will go ahead and stop the
Thank
video.
you.